Hi. Well, I hope you miss me. You know when I say miss me, you miss maths. Alright? You must be at ease with the teacher, and I believe that is very instrumental in learning. If there's a discomfort, it makes learning a little bit difficult. So can you smile? Ha! I see you smiling. Now we're going to go on and just get our gear, our maths gear on, and we're going to go into very quick revision on trigonometry. Remember? Alright, now very basic things we learned about this beautiful thing, the women with the fat thighs in Chinese. They say what? Tua Ka So. Ooh, what does Tua Ka So tell you? He tells you a very important story. What is that all about? When you have an angle, cosine is equals to cosine is B over C, adjacent. So we learned about cos, sine, tangent, right? And in no particular order, if you look at cos theta, adjacent over hypotenuse. So the adjacent is B over C. Sine theta is opposite over the hypotenuse. And tangent theta is A over B. When you want to find the angle, you bring that over, it becomes an inverse cos, right? Here you bring that sine over, it becomes an inverse sine. And similarly here, another very important thing that you learned, remember this man? Famous, he starts with pi, sounds like a python. Pythagoras theorem. What did Pythagoras tell you? He told us that a squared plus b squared equal to c squared. Right, I love that you're remembering it so well. And remember the C, the line that faces the 90 degrees. What do you call that? Pronounce it right. Not hippopotamus. What do you call it? Hypotenuse. Yes, that's the longer side of the triangle. Now, besides learning this ratio, we learned about Pythagoras theorem. What else did you learn? Come on. Got it? You also found out a very important discovery. Remember how brilliant you were when we discovered together the beauty of 90 minus theta. If this is theta, 90 degrees, angle sum of a triangle is 180. So this is 90 minus theta. What do you learn about this 90 minus theta? You found out that sine theta, equals to cos 90 minus theta. Amazing discovery, right? We did by using this beautiful triangle. And we also found out that cos theta is equals to sine 90 minus theta, 90 degrees minus theta. We learned that. Remember it? So sine 15 is the same as cos 75. Cos 20 is the same as? I can hear you. Cos 20 is the same as sine 70. Ooh la la. Alright, let's move on from there. What is the next beautiful thing that you learned, my dear friends? Right, you learned that this amazing thing, tangent theta, is none other than sine theta over cos theta. And you also learned that your sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. You learned that. Remember, I told you this is further maths. But you need, if you want to be good in maths, you need additional information to strengthen your foundation. Okay, but I just want to know, how do you get that? Look at that, sine squared theta, a squared over c squared. And what is cos squared theta? Because sine theta is a over c. So sine squared is a squared over c squared. What is cos? Adjacent. Alright, cos squared theta is adjacent over the hypotenuse. Cos squared is b squared over c squared. and we take the common LCM, you get a squared plus b squared. And what is a squared plus b squared equals to? Pythagoras theorem, c squared. Yeah, c squared over c squared is 1. This is one we talk about learning, summing up every time, remembering it, making it a part of your life, trigonometry, so much so that you don't have to feel like a nerd, alright? It's part and parcel of you. Now we also learned more things. What else did we learn? We learned about radian. You remember the word radian? It's just another measurement. Radian is another measurement of angles, alright? And we learned that pi is none other, it's the equivalent of 180 degrees. You learn to change units from one mode to another mode, and that's really important. We also learned how to operate it on the calculator. When you put sine pi, pi is 180 degrees, alright? Then that will be sine pi is the same as sine. Pi is 180 degrees. And you put in the calculator either radian or degrees, you get the same answer. So we learned about conversion, which is crucial, my dear friends. Conversion of units from radian to degree. Just a very quick one. What is pi over 6? Huh? Got it? You told me 30? Ooh, good. Right, you're getting to be a master of maths, you know something? You get it? You better get your mom to buy you an ice cream, a lovely one. Oh, I don't know what else you want. 180 divided by 6 is 30 degrees. Yeah. Alright? And if I said pi over, choose something, 4, what will that be? Your pi is 180 degrees. When you divide it by 4, you get a 45 degrees. Similarly, we know how to convert degrees to radian, right? If I give you an angle like 120 degrees, 120 degrees, what radian is that valued at? Very simple. It's just a simple proportion. And how does that proportion work? 180 degrees is equal to pi. 1 degree is pi over 180. And then 120 degrees will be, you take your pi over your 180, multiply by 120. Doop-da. Cancel the 12 and the 18. 2/3. So 120 degrees is 2/3 pi. You got it? Yeah. These are things which we call them fundamentals. Now when your fundamentals are strong, every other sum becomes pretty easy. You remember something I told you about? Wow. Ouch. You remember my last lesson? It's good to go back to it and recall these strengthen it. Now, as I said to you, we do not want you to be a nerd. Our size of the brain is this, remember? If you cramp it too much without logic, your vessels putus. That's why you got to learn with understanding, and your muscles, your brain cells can be elasticized, can be stretched, and you can learn a lot more. So there are things that you got to know in maths. How are you going to store them? And the best way, as I said, having it packed into little pictures which tells you a story, or a hamper, as I said. Now you remember this other thing that we did about angles. We could get the whole damn table of angles, right? 30 degrees. We learned about this whole thing, CAST, C-A-S-T. Alright, all science teachers are clever. Add sugar to tea and coffee, right? This is for all angles, sine, tangent, cosine. And we also learned if this is theta, this is 90, 180 minus theta. Oops, I must be careful. Alright, so look at this. It's 180 minus theta, 180 degrees plus theta. 360 minus theta. What does this tell you? They all share the same answers. But whether they are positive or negative depends on the quadrant that they are in. Alright, a very generally quick revision. If I had 40 degrees here, this is the first quadrant. 180 minus 40 is 140. 180 plus 40, 220. 360 minus 40, 320 degrees. And we saw the amazing magic in maths. They all had the same answer, but either plus or negative depends on the quadrant they are in. Alright, you got that? You know how fast you can become in your thinking with that. But I also told you, my dear friend, that we need to put into radian also. Alright? Now, if we have it as 180 minus theta, what will that be? If you have it in radian mode, theta must be in radian. Alright? 180 is pi minus theta, which is in radian. Pi plus theta, which is in radian. 2 pi, 360 is 2 pi minus theta, which is in radian. And a very quick one, if I have a pi over 6, remember that's 30 degrees, right? Okay, so here will be pi minus pi over 6. Alright, pi is 6 wholes, 6 over 6 minus 1 over 6, you get a 5 over 6 pi. Next part, a pi plus a pi over 6, you get a 7 over 6 pi. And the last quadrant, 2 pi minus pi over 6, 2 pi is equivalent to 12 over 6 minus 1 over 6 gives us 11 over 6 pi. Now I just have this worry that you may be uncomfortable with radian, but can you make yourself at ease? They're not difficult, promise you they're not. Alright? Because it's just a matter of adjustment and getting yourself tuned to it. Now, the last thing, we came to 7 parts. Ooh, we learned so much. And now the 8th thing, what did we learn? We got angles. Maths is magic. Alright? I told you you can charm people with your mathematics. Alright, you guys don't charm the girls, alright? Manage your raging hormones. And you girls too. Right, but maths is magic. And I taught you 2 triangles. The wow triangle. Remember what it was? That told us the whole story. The equilateral triangle. When we have a 2, 2, cut this into 2 equal parts. This is 1, 1. 4, take away 1, Pythagoras theorem. You get a square root 3. This is 60 degrees. This is 30 degrees. And we can get all these angles related to this. The magic of it. Remember, if you put 60, you can get 180 minus 60, 180 plus 60, 360 minus 60. We could get all these answers just looking at it and knowing all this and saying it straight away without any panic, without any memory work. Alright? We also know, like, if you have 30 degrees, alright, 180 minus 30, 180 plus 30, 360 minus 30. Ooh, you see you get 4 angles, that gives you 8 angles. And we can add a 360 to them. They all be the same. As I told you, the world is just one round and we revolve in circles, that's all. Alright? That's the magic of this world. Amazing. Now the next wow triangle that you learned was the 45-degree triangle. Remember, the best thing we could do is to say, hey, you are 45 and you are 45. You're an isosceles triangle. Let's make your sides equal. Take the best length, 1 and 1. And then here gives us a root 2. And all the tables are staring at you. You can see your tangent, 45. What is it? 1. Great, because you can see, Alright? put some music into maths, and maths is great. And if you look at your 45 degree, all right, what are the tables that goes 45? 180 minus 45, you get 135. 180 plus 45, 360 minus 45, you get the whole beauty of tables. And we can put it in radian, and so be it. So this is what we did in the last few lessons. And today we're going to expand it, and we're going to go into the practice module. Alright, with that, you would be very comfortable in doing the sums in the practice round.